get it?
Yes, they love it.
So this is perfect then. Now I'm going to go back to flat Earth because I want to hear about the motive. Until the 1500s, for thousands of years, humans believed the Earth was flat, right? Okay? And then Columbus,
But it wasn't like dumb humans. When you look at the timeline of flat Earth, that was the smartest people on the planet were going back and forth of whether it was flat
so what happened?
or what was.
So what happened? So Columbus
Copernicus.
sailed. They thought Columbus was going to hit. They thought he was going to hit Asia. He hit America. No, that's history. Now that doesn't prove that the Earth is round. I'm not sitting here saying that proves the Earth is round. But ever since then, history changed and people believed the Earth was round, and science changed from that day forward. So for the next 500 years of human existence, which historically is, I don't know, what, 10% of historical records, 20% maybe, we believe that the Earth was round. So that would have to be, to this day, a government conspiracy to keep everyone in the dark that the Earth is flat, correct? Yes. What is the motive?
Joe was trying to explain how dumb people are and goes, dude, there's people that still believe the Earth is flat and the sun is 3,000 miles away. And I remember, this is like a year and a half ago. I'm a grown ass, I was in my 40s. Balls deep in conspiracies, my whole life. And when I heard that, I thought, oh, like, what are they, like just super religious people? I mean, like people actually still believe the Earth is flat.
1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Electromagnetic field going from the north and south that would mess with the flight patterns.
If the Earth was flat, all of the navigation systems that are used, all of the geolocation and all of that would not work. It would fail.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
All of the geolocation and all of that would not work. It would fail.
Here's our flat Earth with our magnetic center. This is the shoreline that we call Antarctica that surrounds our world. And here's my boat. I put my boat down and immediately the compass points north. If I want to circumnavigate, I want to head west or east, but we're going to go west right now. So I'm heading west, and as you see, west keeps turning. So I have to keep going, and this is how, when you go west, you end up going all the way back to where you started from.
All of the geolocation and all of that would not work. It would fail. It would fail.
Same thing for east. I go east. I keep having to turn because my compass keeps making me turn to go east.
It would fail.
If I want to go dead reckon west, so this would be dead reckoning west. If you watch the compass, I'm no longer going west. I'm going south.
It would fail. It would fail.
Any straight line on the flat Earth will eventually become south. And that is how you circumnavigate on the flat Earth. Nobody can circumnavigate south, because when you go south, you keep on going. I go north, and as I pass North Pole, I'm now going south, even though I'm going in the same straight line.
Have you guys seen Westworld?
Exactly.
Have you seen Westworld?
Yes.
Okay, so this in Westworld where they go to the simulation, the Westworld device, and they're looking at it, and they're going, oh well, we need to change this over here, and so they're looking into this world. That is the only time I was ever saying, okay, I see where the flat Earth people, because then we're living in a simulation, and we're basically, you know, it's like this dome.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
All right, kid, here's the deal.
At any given time, there are around 1,500 aliens on the planet. Most of them right here in Manhattan.
There is a certain group of people who have a psychological condition. I knew it! OJ's totally innocent, And the dark energy forces us up rather than down. Up rather than down.
The Earth is a flat and motionless plane.
You're being sarcastic. That's a prank call.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? When you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world.
Imagine what you'll know tomorrow.
Do with your 20,000. Quit school.
Good idea! School is for fools!
Do you recall the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah. This is the crazy thing is everybody will entertain the possibilities of, man, what if scientists are saying that
we're in a simulation.
Computer simulation. Everybody's like happy to look into that and the information, like, fuck, that'll be cool. We're a computer simulation. But when you bring up that maybe we've been lied to about what we're on, no, that's fucking, you're wasting my time. You're wasting my time. And like, oh, what are you going to go watch Game of Thrones now? You're going to watch some fiction and you're going to have an open mind and look into it. Everything that all the pictures and images from space are CGI. None of them are real. Isn't that a shitty detective would go, wait a minute.
I mean, the gatekeeping couldn't be more obvious. I've talked to several people. I've talked to probably more people than anyone on this earth about the flat earth. And normal people do not act the way that the people at InfoWars act when you're just trying to, especially when they're supposedly trying to give you a voice. You don't act that way when you're just having a conversation about these things, especially when you're conspiratorial minded like Alex Jones. Why the heck can't he, I can't fathom that. They lie about everything. And there's compilations that are hilarious. I love watching them. I think that this is where your truth is coming from.
Yeah, and now that we have a U.S. Navy missile instructor and many other experts confirming that the Earth is a flat and motionless plane.
You're being sarcastic. That's a prank call.
Got us! It is the West! You people are enemies, and we're gonna get your asses, and we know what you're up to, and we're coming for you!
I mean, the soil varies all over the place on Earth, right? I mean, soil's everywhere.
You don't think there's a little tiny chance, small little percentage that they could be faking that?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think it's hard to do. I mean, I think it's hard to do, but they've done it. Look, they've already got all these crazy satellite images of Earth. They got satellite images all the way out to Jupiter's moons. They've got that satellite image of that frozen moon. What's that frozen moon?
Oh, let me see if that's CGI. Find that They got a picture of a frozen fucking moon. I guarantee you it's CGI.
Oh, what is the fucking the frozen, Jesus, the water moon?
Come on. Yeah, this is the history of the Earth. In the 1950s, Einstein he'd have debates with other physicists about, is the Earth really even moving? Is it spinning at 1,000 miles an hour? Like that? Where's the proof? There's zero proof that we're even moving. Now, that was the debate. So in 1950, an astrophysicist by the name of Auguste Piccard, and this is not a conspiracy theory, he got in a balloon, went up 50,000 feet. He went the highest anybody ever went up to that point. 50,000 feet. His name was Auguste Piccard. He went 50,000 feet in a balloon. He had a partner. They went up in a little mini submarine. And when he got up there in the 50s, his one-liner, his quote was, "The Earth appears to be a flat plane with upturned edges." He comes down. Who knows what that means? He comes down. Now no one can go into space. Space is owned by NASA.
Eddie, you think Alex Jones is you think Alex Jones is part of the establishment?
Absolutely, absolutely.
He's just feeding us.
I know him. I just don't think so because if he is controlled opposition, they fucked up because don't you think the establishment, the globalists, the people in charge, don't you think they wanted Hillary to win and they didn't want Trump? Because that's why everyone's against Trump. The CIA's against Trump. Everybody's against Trump. The whole political system, the Republicans, Democrats, entertainment, it's like Trump was an accident. And if Alex Jones is controlled opposition, that's a big fuck up there, right? Because he was responsible for Trump getting elected pretty much. Right?
There you go. There you go. Alex is just as establishment as Trump is, but the establishment wants you to think both of them are anti-establishment. And that's how their WWE game works, where they give you their polar opposites and you pick one or the other, and you're controlled either way.
I think, no, seriously, I think Alex, I know him, I think he really, really cares about bringing liberty back to this country. I think he really is anti-globalist.
Your video.
Well, he's censoring.
Absolutely. That's why he censored your videos, because he totally cares. That's why your videos were allowed up for the first video was up for 5 hours before he took it down, where you mentioned my name over and over again. And then the next video, you did the same thing. That one lasted 4 hours.
But it's flat Earth, though. I understand, because when I first heard of it, like I said at the top of the podcast, when I first heard,
he didn't just hear of it. I've been telling Alex Jones about flat Earth since 2009.
But don't you understand how crazy it sounds? It does sound crazy, and most people think it's crazy. I was violently opposed to flat Earth whenever, really. I mean, I understand people not buying into it at first, and maybe not ever. You know, there's enough debunker videos out there that, you know, that if you get on the wrong video, it could just kill your whole journey, you know, your truth journey by picking the wrong video. And then it's, you know what I mean? I understand why people laugh at the flat Earth theory, because I did. I thought it was ridiculous. It made me angry and shit. Yeah.
That's what controlled opposition does. Controlled opposition is there to divide any sort of legitimate movement that might come up. And that's why Alex, you said his brand of truth, or that's what he's pushing. Yeah, if your truth has limits, then you're what's known as a gatekeeper. And that's exactly what he is. He's a gatekeeper so that you won't ever get into the idea that we haven't been on the moon. You'll never question any sort of cosmology or NASA. You'll never understand that the Earth is flat and that that's the biggest conspiracy of all of them. Nor will he tell you about the Masons and the Jews who control the Masons, who are above them. His show is all about watering it down and claiming that the Bilderberg group is the top of the conspiratorial stone broth and other. That's what it's about. He's not about truth. I've been talking to Alex, trying to send him the truth for the longest time. He knows about me. That's why he deleted me off of your YouTube video. He's a complete gatekeeper, and it's so obvious to someone like me, who's a genuine truth seeker, and I've been in this thing for over a decade. But I understand that, you know, Trump and Alex Jones, they are the second level gatekeepers for people that have broken through the mainstream and they don't actually get how deep the conspiracy goes. They're there to corral and honeypot you into never getting further than their little brand of the truth, which is, you know, sure, he says a lot of great stuff. I mean, I was an Alex Jones fan, and I agree with, you know, 80% maybe of the things that he says, but it's the 20% that not only does he not get into, but he purposely covers up. He will shut off your phone call. He will take down your video, and when you talk about flat Earth, and, oh, that's a fake phone call, cut him off. That's a flat Earth. He knows about this. He knows about all the questions about the moon landing hoax. I've seen him interview Buzz Aldrin and all the other people. He's heard you, Eddie. He knows everything. Look at their face. Look at Leanne McAdoo as she's interviewing.
Watch a channel, if you have DirecTV, it's the NASA. It's called Earth Views. It's views from the space station that show the curvature of the Earth.
It's all with fisheye lens.
Oh, come on, Dios mío. Hey, I love it. Go.
Quickly. People
love it. Go.
Quickly. People know internet.
Hey, he was the resistance before the resistance.
We're resisting too.
They were ahead of their time, honey.
I didn't know what the hell I was talking about back then. I just knew that they were lying, and I had no proof. I'm like, I don't believe. You know, you watch TV, you look at.
Do you actually believe though that the Earth is flat?
I don't believe what the mainstream, what's coming from mainstream cosmology. I don't believe it. I'm just highly suspicious of it. They fake 6 moon landings. You got to ask yourself a question: how many times do they have to fake stuff like moon missions before you don't believe anything? Me, it's 6. I mean, some people it could be 50. But I could prove that the world is round in 1 minute. So we're texting each other back and forth. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Well, what was it about the theory? What was it about the theory that just got you? Where you're like,
it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The earth is flat.
Yeah.
And the sun is 3,000 miles away.
But did you debunk him or did he
No, I went
you?
home. No, I went home and I go, I'm just going to find a picture. It's really simple. You know, all these people that are
it's not really simple. Okay, it's not really simple.
Yeah, no, it's simple. It's
no,
simple.
it's not.
I'm going to go, Antarctica, you know, it's a UN treaty since the 50s. Nobody's allowed to go into Antarctica. There's islands where you can go, like, oh, I went to the South Pole. Yeah, it's like you went to off the coast. You didn't go way into it. People go to Antarctica, oh, they saw those raptor seals or whatever the fuck they're called. They're not really going in. You know there's a UN treaty and they have a UN brigade. They have soldiers. Nobody's allowed to go
what
deep.
Is the motive? Why would every government that's ever tried to experiment with space travel want to continue this theory?
Anyways, the main thing is, if we were on a ball, no matter how big it was, as you rise, the horizon would not rise to your eye level, no matter how big. If you're on a ball, as you rise, you're gonna look down at the horizon. But get on a plane, look out the window, and I bet you the horizon is right at the law of your perception, right there. No matter how high you rise, it's right there. And that's only true on a flat plane. On a ball, it's impossible on a ball. On a ball, the more you rise, the more you look down on the horizon. No matter how big the ball could be, a zillion fucking miles in circumference. It doesn't matter how big. As you rise, you would look down at the horizon, not up. The higher you get on a plane, you know, the horizon right there at your eye. It's your perception. Everything converges to your perception. You know what I mean? But there's a documentary the best documentary on it's called The History of Flat Earth. It's by Eric Dubé. Watch that. It's on YouTube. That'll explain that it's not.
I'm gonna watch it because I'm interested in that.
This flat Earth debate has been going on for a long time. They've been trying to suppress it.
But Eddie, here's one thing I want you to watch though. I want you to watch a channel, if you have DirecTV, it's the NASA. It's called Earth Views. It's views from the space station that show the curvature of the Earth.
That's all. With fisheye lens.
Oh, come on, Dios mío.
Hey, I love it. Go.
Quickly. None of the pictures from space.
Okay, but you got to explain that on another level. Okay, but now hold on though.
Coming from NASA?
We do have some pretty amazing telescopes and photographic capability to be able to not have CGI Earth.
Show me.
I'll give you that.
No. He earns a point there.
Did we find any real pictures?
NASA admits that their photos are pretty much all fake and everything, but at the same time, they do live feeds from the ISS that they never admit are fake. So there's semantics there. But again, man, you're talking about. I mean, this is beyond just, a government that's run based on blackmail and pedophiles and all that. You're talking about now you've
Why
got
would they
people
lie
that
to us
raise
about the
families
Earth
like
thing?
pilots, people and engineers that are designing these telescopes. What about all these satellites they're claiming that are going up to space? Where are the waves going from your cell phone?
Listen, when someone brought up flat Earth theory to me, like I told you, I wouldn't even ask those questions. I was just like, dude, you're retarded. So the fact that you got some legit questions that need answers. That's why you need to watch History of Flat Earth.
So you think that everything? Okay, so everything that comes. How about this?
I can't explain it.
But so
all I know is I don't trust.
Try to
NASA.
Wait. So
I don't know if the Earth
here.
is flat. I don't know if it's round or flat.
You don't know.
I don't know what we're on, but I'm looking into it.
So wait, why don't you offer to be one of Tesla's first people that he says he wants to fly civilians into space?
Remember,
why don't you
I'll
go?
go with you. Who was
Why
the
don't
guy?
you go?
I'll go with you.
The guy that owns Virgin America.
Richard Branson.
Yes,
that guy. He was talking about it 20 years ago that he's going to space flight, and now Elon Musk is talking about it. Let me tell you this right now. I'm going to make a prediction. That is never going to happen. That is never going to happen. No one's going to. Elon Musk, dude from Virgin America, couldn't take nobody. He owns. What happened to that? That just faded away.
Yeah,
you know
Lady Gaga offered to be the first
he
one.
He looked into it, where do I apply for this? And they said, you better sit your ass down because you ain't going into space. Nobody can go into space. Nobody's going into space.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. There's no place to throw your trash.